welcome back to the fourth episode of the DEP, Data Enrichment Pod, where marketing meets data. And last episode, we spoke about kind of the publisher challenges with data, the publisher history with data, and kind of what the approach I think should be when it comes to publishers and marketing data. And today I thought we'd talk a little bit more about the advertising side. You know, why is it so crucial for advertisers with data? Maybe it's self-evident, but I think we need to talk about where it comes from. But I want also to dig in a little bit deeper in terms of the impact and actually the requirements that this new reality where there's less third-party data in the marketing ecosystem, because this really leads to kind of a new requirement and a new field of expertise for marketers, that you need to understand your customers and your first-party data. And before, up until now, it hasn't really been such a great need for it. But I'll also talk a little bit about what it means to, in terms of practical marketing techniques that are affected by this new shift. And you know, looking right now at why is data so central to digital marketing, is that for 2 decades it's been there, it's been available, it's been everywhere, and anyone could use it, and in a multitude of ways, and it's been really useful. But for reasons already mentioned, this is not any longer possible, as these technologies to transfer data between systems, between domains, and so on is going away. And I think that we need to kind of back up a little bit to actually look at, all right, where does this come from, and even talk about marketing before digital marketing. Here, in this time, before the digital marketing stepped in, marketing was very hard to track, to measure, to evaluate. You would do surveys and so on, and it gave, I think, on the brand awareness level, those worked really well. But it was very hard maybe to lead a specific purchase to a specific ad campaign, maybe with those coupons and such, phone numbers that you would call, and so this is how you created the tracking, but it was in some terms limited. And then came digital marketing, and above all came Google, of course, and they established this new currency of click, where the click is the most important thing. And even in branding environments such as display, and the click was still the most important thing. And in an environment where the click is not natural, or maybe not even part of the user customer journey in a direct way, publishers struggled to compete with the Google clicks, right? And in some terms, I'm still hearing it today, that it's still the clicks that count, but I think more and more is showing that the correlations between different marketing channels and different medias are still a huge effect and part of the marketing. And I think that those that are solely focused on the clicks will struggle going forward, as the traceability, the price of the clicks go up, and so on, and it's harder to predict user behavior. You really need to work on both the branding level and on the performance level to be educated, skillful marketing professional. And this is a new field for a lot of marketers out there. And I think that's what's dominated. If there's two things that dominated digital marketing for the last, I don't know, decade at least, it's clicks and lookalikes. This is what marketers have been focusing on. The clicks provided by Google at a fixed price, and you could kind of see the ROI directly, trace them. Even the indirect visits could be attributed to previous clicks and so on. And this was like, yeah, we spent this much, we got this much back. So here it was really end of discussion if you whether it worked or not, right? And then you had the lookalikes, making life really simple for marketers, meaning that yeah, you put the Facebook pixel on the page, and then Facebook collected the user data on your website, mashed it to their own user data, and abracadabra, you had a good return on investment also in the social media campaigns. And to some extent it's still working like this, but as data is getting lower and lower also in those marketing channels, we will see a reduced effect, and I've already hear customers having a reduced effect. And that's just the way it is, right? When with this transfer mechanism that is third-party cookies is completely gone. And kind of linking into all of this is the fact that marketing data has really been the wild west during this period, and the initiative of the European Union to control and regulate it, I think is good, but at the same time it's slightly misguided, because what I heard in the beginning was that, yeah, we're doing this so that we will regulate those global giants, Google, Facebook, and so on. But they have the muscle to adapt to this new reality. And I think it's rather smaller publishers, local tech vendors that are struggling even more to keep up with the impact of the GDPR, making it a little bit skewed the wrong way, I would say, because I think that regulations should open up and not be that complicated that it's only the big ones that can afford to adapt. So hopefully rolling out and setting precedences for the GDPR, it will take those things into account, that smaller businesses doesn't have the same capacity for change in the way that the bigger global companies do. And I think that advertisers are actually starting to demand more from publishers, meaning that they see that it's not only Google, it's not only Facebook, it's not only TikTok, because the marketing mix it's just getting ever bigger. You have this digital outdoor, you have voice assistants, you have the metaverse, you have gaming, you have kind of the media mix is just growing and growing and growing, and each channel is powered by its own data. There's no standardization, and this is what I think is the biggest thing that's coming from the buy side, from the advertisers, is the demand for some kind of standardization. And I think that those initiatives from the IAB with seller-defined audiences is a great initiative that's really kind of spearheading this way. And I like the fact that organizations like the IAB is a counterweight to Google, Facebook, global giants, marketing giants that are kind of taking this opportunity to raise the walls of their walled garden, to isolate their silos even more. And if we can kind of create an open standard or open accessible marketing data taxonomy, this will only help publishers, advertisers, tech vendors, and so on. And I think that this is part of the future, because if you can supply the same data on the buy side as the sell side, then you don't need this intrusive technology that's tracking users everywhere. then users can also feel secure that if I give my consent over here, it stays here. And if I give my consent over here, it stays here. And at the same time, you're getting better user experiences because we can start matching behavior not on the individual level, but on the kind of cluster, cohort, group level, audience level, whatever you call it, right? But here we need to start to see an alignment between publishers, advertisers, technology vendors, of course, and this is the position that I see is up for grabs. I've seen a few vendors operating in this space, same as us, but I also think that you can't fix this on your own, and this is why our initiatives are often group initiatives, bringing together players like global data players, global tech vendors, global data suppliers, and tying it all together with a open service that can be delivered to anyone if you're advertiser or publisher. And this, I think, long term will actually bridge the gap between advertisers and publishers that's left now when the third-party cookie is gone. And I think also that if we're looking at who will come out on top of this, and I think that first of all, internet users will come out on top, having a more secure and safe and less integrity intrusive internet for sure, but also those that adapt to the new reality the fastest, realizing that those old retargeting technologies, they're gone, we can't use it anymore. We will have to kind of rely on individual providers trying to mirror this effect, but to a large extent this type of tracking you can forget about, right? And also realizing that I need to really understand my customers in order to match them to the different marketing channels. And as more and more channels are expanding, you need to actually focus your marketing efforts where you know that your customers are. And this means understanding that not everyone are on TikTok, not everyone are on Meta or Instagram. I know that for my customers, Facebook is actually the most relevant channel, or they read the news on the news websites or whatever, right? Listen to podcasts, streaming podcasts and listening to them. So about positioning and putting your effort where it will make the most sense, right? And I think also that when it comes, a huge part of this for advertisers is of course the tracking, the reporting, and this means that the old way of doing it, being able to follow users the whole purchase cycle, this is going away. And this also means that you need to start looking at your reporting, you're following up in a bit of a maybe more old school way, not necessarily surveys, but looking at which customer types are we driving by these different marketing activities, and having a new shift in how to view the customer journey, and also understanding the effect of both branding and performance on what they have on each other. So I think that advertisers need to step up, marketers need to step up, acquire new skills when it comes to data in terms of first-party data, targeting, and so on, and also kind of letting go of those old technologies. They will be around for a little while longer, but they will pretty soon be gone. And those that are the quickest to adapt to these new technologies, this new mindset, this new way of working, I think those are the advertisers that will be the winners going forward in the marketing game. Thank you very much, and stay tuned for more episodes. See you.